Hello, this is Toby. Welcome to Fireside Chat. We are talking about how overheaders beat lobbers. And with your overheads, they're what I call the dessert of the tennis point. So really important is that you want the overhead, that you don't fear it, that you move your feet, that you keep your head up on your overhead, and you have a plan with your overhead. A lot of people play tennis, they get the overhead, and they're like, it's over, the point's over. So the team that lobs stops moving, the team that's hitting the overhead stop moving. And I think that this is where strategy really starts. So if you're really smart, you're gonna be playing people when they lob you, they're gonna both be backing up behind the baseline. So when that lob goes up, I wanna first and foremost always call the overhead. We need communication. With that, we want a forehand overhead out of the deal. So if someone's got a backhand volley, someone's got an overhead, forehand overhead, that's a big zero from 8 miles an hour to 80. So we want the 80-mile-an-hour shot on the overhead. And we have time with it being up there to get the 80-mile-an-hour shot. We have time to hit with a pattern, create a plan for our team. So first and foremost, we call that mid-court overhead. A lot of teams won't call it. They'll get all bunched up in the middle of the court. They'll hesitate on overheads because they're too close to their partner. They're worried about hitting their partner in the head with what's called as the smash. So by communicating, we're gonna have one player hitting a forehand overhead and we're gonna get separated. With the mid-court overhead, I like the overhead to go down the line. So by taking this mid-court overhead and taking that tennis ball straight down that line, it's gonna put that down the line player in a position under pressure. If the player was kind of standing here, they're what I call a ding-dong, but either way, they're going to be stuck. If they're at the service line or the baseline, taking a ball under pressure, coming at them fast, and having the middle of the tennis court shut down. The partner should close that middle down as this ball goes there, looking to jump in that hitting lane and poach following the overhead. I think it's the best time to poach is when your partner has a mid-court overhead, because unlike the serve that has to land short in the court and go cross court, this ball going down the line puts essentially what would be the returner server in a position where they're not limited by a short serve and the player is already cross court, kind of like in the Aussie formation. As everyone knows in singles, we don't want to take tennis balls down the line where we're wounded. This formation makes that player go down the line when they're wounded, and it just works. So if that lob was short in the court, the same pattern can be created for Mr. Potato Head here. So as this lefty here takes this overhead cross court, now Pizza Boy's not going to want to close. I see this mistake a lot. This person's like, oh great, you're really close to that hitting an overhead. I'm going to come join you up there. There's 39 feet between the net and the baseline. If you two are both within 3 feet of the net, you're going to lose because Mr. Potato Head's only shot left is a lob back, because he's getting smashed with something close to him. So Pizza Boy should anticipate that and actually drift back and anticipate a lob over the overheader's head. By doing that, then Lefty here is putting Mr. Potato Head in the same dilemma that player was at over there. The middle is closed down. This player is here. They're going to have to try to either fire down the line and challenge the high part of the net, or Pizza can run down a lob if it gets over the cross-court player. So if you do this, if you call your overhead, if you get separated on the court, and then you have a plan, then you can control the middle. As you saw in our video earlier, we did a drill. In that drill, I had 3 tennis players over here, and this is a good homework for you guys to do when you have 3 tennis players. So we had the pro or one of the people on the court hitting that mid-court overhead, this player taking the mid-court overhead down the line, this player sliding in and poaching, this player comes in, this player goes out, again, back up, overhead down the line, this player looking to jump in that hitting lane and poach. So a lot of times, especially I think here in the United States, we want to compete, we want to play. We don't drill as much as we should. If you get this drill down, you get used to calling your overheads, separating, and poaching off those overheads, then you're going to win almost every overhead point. Thank you.